Right, the first thing you do, you write down area is equals to area of triangle plus area of rectangle plus area of semicircle. So you have triangle, rectangle, and semicircle. Formula to find area of a triangle given the angle of 60 degrees, half AB sine C. Half AB sine C. A is x, B is x, C is 60 degrees. Half x times x sine 60. That gives the area of the triangle. After that, we need to find the area of the rectangle. Length times width, x times y. And then area of a semicircle, pi radius squared divided by 2. Radius is x over 2. Pi x over 2 divided by 2. That gives us the area of the semicircle. Add all three of them. When you add all three of them, this is what you get. 50. The total area is half x times sine 60 plus xy plus area of the circle divided by 2. We have to rearrange. Sine of 60 is root 3 over 2. And you can now make xy the subject. You take xy on the left. So you have 50 minus square root of 3 over 4x squared minus pi over 8x squared. Divide all through by x. Divide all through by x. Xy divided by x gives you y. 50 divided by x. And x will cancel from this. So you have root 3 over 4x minus pi over x. And you rearrange and factorize x over 8. X over 8 comes out of the bracket. And you got x over 8 bracket pi plus 2 root 3. QED means as required to show. Right, we go on to part B. Part B say hence. Hence means you use the answer from part A. Show that the perimeter, P meters of the spool is given by. So we want to find the perimeter is to add all the three sides. All the sides of the shape. So the total perimeter is given by AB plus BC plus CDE plus EF plus FA. AB is X, BC is Y, CDE is a curve. So it's part of its circle, a semicircle. So it's pi diameter over 2. Is half of the circumference. Y is EF and then X is FA. We'll collect like terms. X plus X gives you 2X. Y plus Y gives you 2Y plus pi X over 2. Now, this is where we have to replace Y. So that the final answer will not have Y. So we have to replace Y. And we use the hence. The answer from part A will replace Y, and from there on we can arrange it to get the required answer for the perimeter. So replacing y is 2 times 50 over x minus x over 8 pi minus 2 root 3x over 8. And we can multiply out, remove the square bracket. 2 times 50 gives you the 100 over x. And the 100 over x, we don't change that, we leave it as it is because it's part of the answer. 2 times x pi over 8, it will be minus pi x over 4. 2 cancels 1, 2 goes there, 4. We do the same for the last term. So P is, we bring the 100 over x in front. So it becomes 100 over x plus 2x over 1 plus pi x over 4 minus. Now if you notice, you add these three together. We can put those 3 as 1, and common denominator is 4. Becomes 8x plus pi x minus 2 root 3x. Factorize x over 4. X over 4 comes out of the bracket. You're left with pi plus 8 minus root 3 minus 2 root 3 as required to show. The next part says differentiate. Even if you didn't show any of the top part, you can still differentiate. You take x to the top, it becomes x to the minus 1. When you differentiate, power to the front and minus 1 from the power. Power to the front, it becomes minus 1 times 100, x to the minus 1 minus 1. So it's minus 100 x to the minus 2 plus. When you differentiate with x to the 1, it just becomes the number, the constant. And all of this is a number. So when you differentiate a number with x, it just gets the number. Now at turning point, at minimum point, dp over dx equals to 0. You make this equal to 0 and find the value for x. When you make it equal to 0, you can take 1 minus 100 over x squared to the left, cross multiply, x squared times the top there and 100 times that. It takes it from a fraction to a linear form. Now you can make x squared this x the subject, which is square root of that, and that gives you x to be 7.218. Most students at this point, they stop at this point, but this is not the perimeter. This is just the value for x. To get the perimeter, you take that value for x, substitute it into the perimeter formula, and in your calculator that would give you 27.7 meters. And to check if that's correct minimum value, you differentiate the second time. It gives you power to the front minus 2 times minus 100, it gives you 200, minus 1, it gives you minus 3. Differentiating that, all of this, when you differentiate that, it gives you 0. There's no x. So when you differentiate a number, it is 0 because there's no x. Now you have 200 over x cubed. If you substitute the value for x, 7.218, the d squared p over the x squared will give you a number bigger than 0. So you conclude it's a minimum value. So this was quite a long question to do if you do not follow the algebra properly. But it's a doable question in an exam. Part of the important thing to do about this in an exam is you can still do part B and C without showing those part A. You can still do the last two parts without showing it. So if you couldn't show it in an exam, you can still do the last two parts. So as required.